All right, we're gonna make some music today, and we are going to use a couple different tools that I've been working with lately. One of them is gonna be an IJO audio tool that I really like. It's probably my favorite one that he's made, and he's made quite a bit of them. But it's the Spectronaut, and this is a great tool if you enjoy. I'm gonna say if you enjoy some of the Chase Bliss pedals, as well as if you enjoy particularly the S4. This pedal here, or this plugin, reminds me of the S4. Imagine each time you put one on here, it'd be like one track in the S4. So we're gonna work with this today. We're gonna grab some samples. These samples will come from the kit that was put together for the Flip Channels Beatcast challenge 248. So we're gonna grab some stuff from this pack. There's a bunch of different uh, records, I guess, that he pulled from, and I'm just gonna grab some random stuff, and then we'll start there, and then I'll show you some other tools that I'm kind of enjoying. So let's just start here. So I'm gonna pick a scale to start with. That scale will be what we lock into. And I think I want to do something a little different. We're gonna go with the Lockerian, I think is how they pronounce it, scale, and we're gonna do G sharp. So I'm just picking something at random. I'm gonna lock these two to a scale down here, and then we're gonna set this bar amount to 16. Same thing here. So I'm only doing this because we got 16 bars here. I'm not exactly sure why the bar count is important, but I'm doing that. I'm gonna drop this one back an octave and this one back 2 octaves. And then we're gonna start messing with this. So this mod here is like granular, Wonder, or chorus. So you can pick which one you want. I like the Wonder probably the most, and then we can adjust how much of a rate that is. So we're gonna put a loop on this. So that way when we play it, so we're creating like some type of textual background. I'm going to increase the voices, bring some unison into it. Actually, we're going to get rid of that. I'm going to use my own reverb, well, Valhalla reverb. You could introduce the waveform and the bit crush in there if you want for some of that alias and stuff. Increase the distance. I'm going to bring the distance back to around 50%. If you want to create more movement too, you can start putting an LFO on some of this stuff to get it to move. I'm going to go grab some Valhalla reverb. Supermassive. Create this cool textural background. Now you can do more to this if you want to stretch it. You could stretch this further out and create your own, like a 32 bar textual background. So this is some of the tools I use sometimes to create interesting soundscapes. Oops. Just time stretch it as far as you want to. I'm gonna go, let me see if I can grab, there we go, like that. So I'm gonna time stretch first. I'm gonna go ahead and consolidate. Then I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna work on seeing, I actually think that's fine if it's a little lower, but you can pitch it if you want, get different pitches. I'm gonna pitch up this time instead of down, since I already have it going in a negative, the octaves. For some reason, an LFO on this dampening kind of sounds fun, but I'm gonna, let's put an LFO on the decay and this damp. So we're gonna go to audio effects, I believe, and grab an LFO. I'm gonna put the LFO between the reverb in there, and then we're gonna adjust the rate. I kind of wanted to move a little slow, so I'm gonna do like half, I think. Leave the depth up, that's fine. And then we're gonna map that to the damper and the decay. Oh wait, we gotta go in here and do, what is it, plus? No, it's here. Yep, then we're gonna map to the decay. And then you can tell it how much percent. I'm gonna lower the percentage really low so it goes kind of slow. Mess with the offset a little bit. We're just toying around to see what we can create. If the volume is too loud for you, you can of course just change the volume, but I'm gonna put an effect on this. So here's where we're gonna go with some of the new stuff. I'm gonna grab the VU effect and adjust the filter. I'm gonna increase the sample rate and turn up this drive here, maybe. Let's put this before the reverb. Increase that all the way up and adjust the rate again. I'm gonna leave the rate all the way up. That's fine. So without it, it's very much this. You could just put a regular filter if you don't care for this. I'm gonna leave it off actually. we'll put that on something different. But I am gonna grab the 1 second. Sorry guys, I had a crazy important call I had to do. We're gonna work on this though, so 75. Let's drop this to 75. We're gonna time stretch this sample here and here. So yeah, you can use 8 voices. Set to max strength. That's fine. This stretch percentage is insane. I don't know what it was set at. Let's do undo. I'm gonna turn this poly back to 1. This sampler is crazy. I like it though. So you can adjust the start. What I don't get is why it doesn't. Okay, so if I hold this down, why it doesn't show me the end of this sample? Play mode is no. Start. I'm confused. Okay, what in the world? Let's do undo, see if that. So what I'm thinking is when you're on like when you're on one channel, or not one channel, your poly is on 1, the other one is becoming a choke group is what I'm thinking. I could be wrong, but I'm not understanding some of this stuff. Is global key is C. Okay. See, because every sample should show you where it ends and starts, right? That's what I would think. That new BPM is wrong. So when you hit undo, it does undo. It will undo everything, it looks like. because this BPM is not what I set it at. So let's go set it at 75. Let's see if that works. Good Lord, I can't get, this is another thing, like I wish, not to be picky, but I like dials and all that, but I'd rather just punch in the number. I think you gotta hold shift, he said. Let's see. There we go. Hold shift down and do it. So that works. All right, let's try it. All right, I like that. Let's put that on. Okay, cool. That's all we need. What's up, doggy? Good to see you. We're just messing around, seeing what we come up with. I started without this and just kind of doing this, and it feels like it's cool, but it's different. Using Spectrasonics, some LFOs, auto filter. I mean, it's cool. It fits a bill, but it doesn't fit what I want right now, so I'm going to get rid of it. And now we're going to use the VU950, which is a sampler, obviously. And we're going to, I threw a sample in. This is what it's called. And we're just going to see. Of course, it didn't start on the one. Got to start on the one. I'm going to throw in, I'm going to just autocorrect, like not time stress. I'm saying everything what I mean. I'm going to quantize this sample to make sure that it hits right on the one. And I kind of want, I could do this manually, or I want all these samples to just play to the end. I played them in, but I want them to play. Why is this one not cooperating? Why are you not cooperating? Oh, because I turned the sound off? That might be why it's not. There we go. Let's make that a little bit longer there. Now I'm going to go in and put a little bit. I was thinking about just adding a little bit of decay onto these samples. Maybe not. Let me see what they sound like without the decay on there. I'll leave it at classic. I was trying to see if this would make a difference. The stretch decay, I'm not sure I fully understand what it's doing. I just leave it at 1,000 because I don't know. But if you like the sound, this is a great tool, the VU950. It's like 19 bucks for this sampler. And even if you just use it to pass your audio through it, as far as like getting the signature stretch sound and the filters, then it's pretty cool. The rate, you can also increase the rate to, could go for like a 12, I guess that would be like a 12 bit right there, and then adjust the filter. I was at like 11.2. Let's see what this is. Then adjust the filter. These samples were taken off of a record. Somebody put them together in the pack that is on the Koala Bcast. So when you get it, keep that in mind. There's already a lot of artifacts sounding to me on the fact that they sampled through a record. And who knows what if they sampled through a drum machine or something else to get it. So if a sound is overly colored, it can sound very muddy and just nasty. So you got to keep that in mind when you lower the filter and the bit rate, that it's going to get worse. So if it's already sounding, I mean, when I say worse in a good way, but if it's already sounding very muddy to you, you probably don't want to run it through this type of device because it's going to be just really bad. So anyway, keep that in mind. I'm going to use the effects on the drum to see if I can. It's at 1200, and then I'm going to leave the filter off of this one. But if you set the rate back really nasty, like 5, you can get some crazy. Let's do 8-bit on the drums and see what that sounds like. Turn the filter back up. So we're gonna put 8. We're gonna turn the filter all the way back. We're gonna put the rate at 8 and then crank this. You can get some pretty cool character added to your drums just doing stuff like that. The filter doesn't have to be set to make this sound like that. So I like that little 8-bit sounding. Kind of gives the drum some. And then if we can lock this in, I'd rather run this through the SP, through the 202. But because he doesn't have an effects filter, we'd have to sample it in. I'm gonna put the filter like an 85 on this one. Keep the rate at 12. And I have it time stretched to 75. It's pretty cool. All right, let's see what else is in this sample, if we can figure something out. I'm not sure when you play up the keyboard on this. I'm not 100% sure that I can tell. Hold on. So here's the same supposed note. let me show you guys this. Hold on. Keyboard. So you can see it. So here's this note. Now I'm gonna go up an octave. To me, that sounds the same. It's just a little different. There's something about it pitched maybe or something. So when I go in here to this, I'm not sure because we don't have the sample in front of us. I can't see what, and I know this is the way it would be back in the day, but I feel like I don't know how much of this sample it actually took. Like, can it hold more than 5 seconds of a sample, 6 seconds, 20 seconds? I don't know. I have no clue. And so the manual, let's take a look at that. So we'll go to VU 900. See if I can find the manual because, I mean, this is the manual on here, right? So let's see if they give us any indication of how much of the sample we can use. Because I know if you use the effects, you don't have a limit, right? Because you're just putting an effect on the sound, which we could just do that. But I was trying to use the chopping features in it to, and there's a truncate, but why would I truncate unless I really know for sure what I'm doing on there? So truncate is only available when the chop mode is disabled. So I'd have to turn that off. Okay, so disc screen. Load audio by pressing disc using the power, the drag and drop still works fast. Loading, the sampler supports mono playback and a maximum, there it is, of 63 seconds. So if the sample is longer than 63 seconds, it's only going to give you 63 seconds. So keep that in mind when you're using this. If you got a long sample, you want to play through it to get that sound, just use the effects. What's up, Marcus? Good to see you, man. Um, and the sample I chose, which is in here, no, it's in this one, is this sample, and it's way longer than 63 seconds. So I'm only getting about this much of the sample from here to right around here. So you have to, so you want to be strategic then if you're going to do this where you want to chop it in this, you want to make sure you select just the segment that you actually want to chop. Don't go dropping in, like this isn't the same as like when you're using like I'll show you. Hold on a second. Let me get rid of this. So you could put this, for instance, in, where is sample? Serato sample is what I'm thinking about. 1 second while I pull it up. I have it on here, Serato sample. So a Serato sample, you can drop a full song in there. It doesn't really matter. Your limits are not there, but they did put a limit of 63 seconds. So let's say I go here, other, drop that in. Now I have the whole sample here, right? So I could just go find my samples and it's going to do it. I mean, I can drop out parts, like if I don't want any drums, I don't care if the rest stays in there. But let's say I get rid of the drums, right? So it tells me the key, I can detune it, whatever I want to do, pitch it. And then what you could do is throw the plugin that I'm talking about, which is the VU effects, over the top of Serato sampler. And now you have access to the filter. So this way, if you go find my samples, and now you play, or you could actually go in and set random. So watch this. So I'm gonna show you what you could do. We're gonna use the second half here with Serato. This first half I did it with the actual one. This one I'm gonna do differently. So we're gonna go record. So you see that? I mean, I could have kept going too. It is much easier to obviously use Serato sampler if you want to get real more accurate with the chops because the visual helps. Let's face it, we're visual people these days. Most people are. Not a lot of people are using their ears, unfortunately. But and then what we could do is just go here and then duplicate it. Now we could put the filter on. Throw the filter. Keep the rate at that 1200. And you get that. Or you got I'm gonna turn the click off. And what you can do with the sound is you can go and like throw yourself like a little color limiter over this. And get more saturation or just bring the loudness up. I don't want to put the more saturation on that sample because it's already saturated through that plugin, but this one, but you got to be careful too when using samples like this. Because you're going to have some weird noises in them too. Because you can hear the crackle from where he got it off of a record. So if you're okay with that and you're fine with the noise, I do enjoy vinyl crackle on a real vinyl, but sometimes like if you give me a sample that's already saturated with what it sounds like, I feel like you're limiting yourself, which is why I prefer a digital copy and let me put my own saturation and my own um, vinyl crackle over it. So I have control over how much goes into the record versus it already be set up that way. That's just my personal preference. Um, but these are some cool tools to use if you want to get that filter vibe going on. You dang near filter it all the way out. Adjust the rate. More saturation, sort of. It's pretty cool. I mean, this isn't my favorite, but I honestly like the way this 950 did it. It sounds to me it sounds really good. with the time stretch. Now you lose the time stretch when you do just the effects. So that's one of the things to keep in mind. You can time stretch inside of Ableton, obviously, or whatever DAW you're in. But if you really like the way it time stretches, which is all of this is time stretch, then you lose this if you don't use the regular 950 or the 950. So I kind of like the way it time stretches, especially on like older samples. I just wish in this modern era, see, there's no preview here. I just wish that we could have the visual of the actual wave so that I know where the start and end points are on each chop. Because mind you, it's only doing 64 seconds. So so let's pull in a sample and we look at it together. I'm going to pull the exact one in. So if I took 64 seconds, let me just do it this way because it's easier to count. And I zoom in here. You can see the seconds down here. Let me zoom in a little more. And now you should see a little more, a little more. 63 is what? A minute and 3 seconds, right? All right, so I don't have to go that far in. There you go, a minute and 3 seconds at this point. So from this point on, or is it this point? I think it's this point, is what you're getting. So I'm gonna chop this, get rid of it. This is what I'm basically putting in the sampler, this section. So I'm gonna grab another one, grab the 950, throw it in, and this is what I'm getting. Drop it in. All right, cool. So now we're looking at it. And if I press one of the buttons from the C, it won't play it. I put play note on. If I just press a play, you're gonna hear the whole sample. So if you look at the BPM, it tells you it's 105.5. Go to new BPM and enter in the amount you want, which is gonna be 75. I'm bringing it down to 75. And when you hit shift, you can be more fine-tuned there, which I'm screwing up already. I still think this would be better if it was so I'm struggling to get to 75. If I could just punch it in, save me the headaches. I mean, this is cool looking with the dial, that's cute and whatever. But let's be real, we want to get this done fast to keep you want the sound. The sound is what's more important here. The workflow needs to be intuitive, the sound needs to be where it is. So now you have it's going to be even slower than what it was. So when you look at the start, you could, in theory, turn the start meter up until you hear the spot. Get it as close as you can. This is where your hold down shift would come in handy. And you can just nudge it a little bit. A little more. This is what they used to do. Shift, a little more. Shift. I'm doing this on purpose so you can see it. Shift. Can you imagine why now this is going to help you to appreciate. Shift a little more to get to the start. And then you hit enter and hit enter again and it truncates it. Now you have So filters, set your rate. Maybe you want it at like 12. And then when you hit chop, it's going to do it automatically. So chop. Now you just play your chops. So there's your 63 seconds. So that's pretty much what you're doing. And then you can mess with this other stuff like the stretch decay, which is all pertaining to how it stretches. You can change the stretch to different modes. So if you go up here, if you want to be like a harsh stretch, if you hear a pop, that's the record, because he sampled it from a vinyl, by the way. So now here's what's tricky to me. I want to be able to adjust each chop. So how do I do that? Because I don't know where the chops are or what they're. If I click start, okay, it's showing me now. So it's showing me where the chop is. See? So you can see the distance, and then you can go in and adjust the start or the end, depending on which one you click on. So it's using numbers and your ears. It's a different way to work, but I actually kind of like it for fun purposes. And the sound is so cool that it makes you kind of enjoy it a little more. I don't know why when we work a little bit harder, sometimes we end up enjoying it to a degree, right? Depending on the work. Like I enjoy washing dishes by hand, whereas some people they hate that and they want to do it with a dishwasher. They want the quickest way, and I'm just not like that. I enjoy it. I put some music on and I'm washing dishes. It doesn't bother me. But we're all different. So when you get to the last chop, let me see where it's at. So this is the last chop right here. Wait, you can't see. I'm sorry. I'm trying to help you visualize it too by giving you this. So if you see here, this is the last chop. After that, it's the same chop all the way across the keyboard. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 15, 16 chops. So it's basically just chopping it in 16s, and that's what you get. So 63 seconds, 16 chops, start to finish. You can adjust the chops accordingly, and that's what you get. So if you don't like that, then the other option is grab the 900, which is just the effects version. This one, I think this is it. No, this is 950. You just get the effects, and then you can put as long of a sample and chops as you want. You can use anything to chop it, and it's like $9 if you just want that effect, versus if you want the actual experience. That's what I'm going to call it. Experience of chopping the old school way. Then it's like $19. So anyway, it's a cool plugin. Um, VU Beats put it out. It's on his website, VU 900. It's the same guy that's making the 202 that I showed you guys earlier, which is this same 202 VU right here. That's his little image. So yeah. Hey, what's up? I think it's pronounced Kyoto, Kyoto. I may be saying it wrong, but yeah, what's up, man? How's it going? Davey, what's up? Wee. You didn't give me a wee when you came in, man. I didn't know you were here. No, I'm just kidding. Good to see you. But yeah, so the options are fun for if you don't, because nobody, I mean, unless you got money and you want to go buy an actual a Kai 950 thing that they made, that thing's expensive. If you find one that's working. And then, the SP 202 is not as expensive, but you don't get all the extra. There we go. You don't get all the extra stuff like the patterns, the ability to see the wave. Now, I do hope I kind of wouldn't mind seeing the wave on the 950, but it's not that big of a deal. I mean, you really only got 16 chops. You know that's what you're working with. You just have to get used to adjusting them. So it is what it is. Poly allows you 1 or 8. So if you click it, you got 1, or you can have 8 voices. And basically, I think that means you can play that many voices at the same time. But it's up to you. I don't know, understand if you can lock it or not, but yeah, it is what it is. Filter. So the main thing is here is the filter, the rate, and if you want the channel to be left or right, or just not deal with that at all. This is basically a drive, I believe. This is an alias, the noisy, aliasy sounds that you hear. And this is your main volume. That's the key. The stretch, time stretch is cool. You could time stretch in just about anything these days. Even Koala has time stretch. Um, so it's not like you have to use this time stretch or else, it doesn't. And then the rest of this attack and decay, you got attack and decay or attack and release or however you want to term it in Koala. So having this is just more of a luxury to have the nice sound, right, that it gives. And it definitely has its own distinctive characteristic, which is different from when you use the 202, which has its own characteristics, which I like this one better. I'm a little partial to the SP family just because I just am. I don't even know why. I have no real reason. They don't pay me, but I just feel like I like it better. I don't know. But anyway, I'm not gonna stay in here much longer. I wanted to mess with some stuff. I was trying a different thing earlier in the video. It was cool, but I wasn't feeling it enough to keep it, so I just moved over to this. Um, yeah, just made some quick drums. We'll get rid of that. And there we are. You can put your own effects. The cool thing is working like this, you can throw in your own effects. So if you don't like, I mean, it doesn't, this one doesn't really come other than the sample rate and the filter. By the way, which I actually hope on 404 day Roland would throw something like this in their device, not this one, but the SP202, add that to those features that come there that everybody loves, add it to the SP404, since I don't think they're going to do a reissue and remake of the 202. What's good, Hero? Good to see you. Yeah, it would be nice if they added. So the 950 is incredible for sound purposes. It just really is. So. One thing to keep in mind too is if you have a sample that has bass in it, you're gonna have to EQ the bass out. Because if you don't, and you try to add a bass over the top of that, it just gets really muddy. My dog's mad because my daughter left. Happens. Um, but yeah, so you're gonna need to go in, like in this sample, I feel like it's extremely bassy. Go in and at least take some of the bass out. Let's just play it. And you can, at least some of this. So that way you can go over the top and play the bass, unless you're not going to put a bass in there. Mo bass. Yeah, some people stack the bass, but on a dirty sample like this, it gets nasty and muddy, and you can't even hear the other. And the cool thing too is you can add these effects to your instruments, so it doesn't have to be to a sample. Um, like for instance, the effects, you could throw that over the top and use the filter. Start filtering out. Change the rate, like some 8. You want that aliasing sound in the back. Anyway, I'm just showing you can use the effects. So the $9 for the effects is actually nice if you just want that and you don't want to deal with all the chopping of samples. I think I'm hoping this is what he will do with the 202, because I like to have the 202 just as to drop on my track for my sound. But my little scapegoat that I've been using is the Goodhertz. So you can use Dr. Vibe too, which is also on iOS. But for 303 sound, since there is no 303, or I don't own one, I should say, you can use Goodhertz if you want that compression sound that the 303 is famous for. They made an emulator in the 303, which is right here. And if you open it up and you go to not compressor, this one, he has the 303 OG right here. And that's the lo-fi and all that sound. So you can put that on your bass. I'm gonna turn this bass fattener off. How much of the dry wet you want, so you could adjust it, but I usually leave it on full, be honest. Or if you want some of the crunch from the 1200. And then there's some more of those settings in here too that you can use for effects or whatever. So this works really well for the 303. But I do enjoy the 202 more. I think I enjoy the 202 more than the 303 as far as sound. But the 303 is already in the SP404 Mark II. So I think this one the Gulf Goodhertz sounds better to me, I believe. A little bit. It's not hugely different, but I feel like it sounds a little bit better. But they're all digital forms of it to some degree, so it's just whatever you want. All I'm saying is if you get this 950 or whatever, it can give you some of that nostalgia that people always like with the old school way of sampling. If you want to be intricate and you love that sound, that's the way to go. If you don't love it, don't do it. But I enjoy it. There you go. So good times. There's so many options out there. You guys can get into whichever one you like. I was trying to think what was the other thing. If you guys haven't checked out IJ Audio, I did a few videos on his products, but you are interested or ever get the itch to get to get a Torso S4, check out the Spectronaut first before you do it if you have Ableton. This is such a great, I actually asked him to build this even though he kind of was, gonna do something similar because I wanted something as close to that because I got rid of my S4 because it was I enjoyed the S4, but I felt limited all the time when I was using it. I still needed other effects to go with it. So when he built this, I was just like, well, don't need the S4 anymore. So I ended up using this, and this thing is incredible. I mean, you can lock in a scale down here, adjust the pitch. You can put bit crush, wave fold, have it do like a little wonder where it goes around, stretch some stuff. Drop this down. Let's put a wave in there, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. I'm gonna mute this sample here. I kind of did it early in the first part of the video. I'm just gonna grab this sample and throw it on the track. You can put any sample. You don't have to even do anything with it, and then just press play. I'm gonna turn these off. Turn up the diffuse. And get that crazy. And if you put LFOs on this joint, you can have stuff moving. And then throw some reverb over it, some Valhalla. And create some unique sounds. Anyway, that was the sample. So you can see what it can does. It can do some crazy stuff. Let me tell you, it gets wild. But anyway, if you're interested in that type of stuff, exploring and experimenting with IJO Audio on Gumroad, check his stuff out. He has a lot of stuff that he's created that's similar to like even the um, Chase Bliss pedals and stuff like that. So imagine having a Chase Bliss pedal, but it's right there in your Ableton Live. So you can get real crazy. So anyway. So this is fun. This is cool. Lots of ways to make music and explore depending on what route you're trying to go. If you don't want to use samples, don't worry about this. You can use whatever you have and create music. So, all right, guys, I've been on for a little bit. I think it's time for me to get off and go do some work. The thing that keeps me alive and busy. Appreciate each and every one of you, Doggy, Hero, Davy, um, Marcus, and I'm gonna say Quiero Masa. I might have said that wrong, but anyway, appreciate each and every one of you for stopping in. Anybody lurking in the back, I'll see you guys on the next one. All right, I'm out.